Dear YouTube, while the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society may not agree with how I am using their videos, I do not feel any hate towards Watchtower organization, the Jehovah's Witnesses, or those who are in the Jehovah's Witness organization. I am merely a critic of the Watchtower's publications and videos that are online for free at jw.org. We create these videos in order to gain new knowledge and new light and insight on the Watchtower. By doing so, we are in cooperation with the U.S. copyright law. Hey guys, what's up? It's Angela and welcome to the Exodus group. Okay, so I wasn't going to do a Toni Morris video. There were so many of y'all doing so many great ones that I didn't want to step on the parade. But I ran across a video that on the jw.org website that made me laugh, like fall out of my chair laughing, and you'll see why in a second. So I'm going to play the video and then we're going to talk about okay, let's go.
Many people equate drinking with having a good time. But at Proverbs 23:32, the Bible says that alcohol can bite like a snake. Are there laws on drinking alcohol where you live? If so, you could be fined, be sentenced to community service, lose your freedom to drive, or even go to jail. Even if none of those things happen, alcohol can lower your inhibitions, and not in a good way. Under the influence, you could say or do things you'll later regret. But what if you're at a party and unexpectedly find that some are drinking and heading for trouble? What would you do? The Bible says that an intelligent person sees trouble coming and avoids it. Stop and think. What might happen if you stay? How could you leave before trouble comes without inviting ridicule? Here's a tip. Make a plan with your parents to call or text if you need to leave early. How about this? What would you do if someone pressures you to drink? At Romans 6:16, the Bible indicates that when you let others control your decisions, you become their slave. You could just follow along and let your peers rule your life. Or you could give a firm response, perhaps something like, "No thanks," or "Sorry, I'm not into that." What if you're out with friends and realize the driver's been drinking? According to the Bible, the person who spends time with fools will fare badly. What could happen if you let that person drive you home? What other options do you have? Try this. Avoid situations where you'll be with a driver who has a reputation for drinking and driving. Always have a plan B for transportation. Remember, you don't have to drink to have a good time, and you don't have to associate with people who think that you do. Have the courage to think past the drink.
So, think past the drink? That's a video that encourages young witnesses to not go to parties and pass on drink and not do alcohol, not have alcohol at parties, and make sure you have another ride home. Great information, right? Awesome information. Great. But studying the Watchtower organization after coming out of the organization has been awesome, because the culture of alcohol drinking and paying with alcohol. John Cedars does a lot of good videos with Bethelites who talk about how alcohol is a form of payment, and you definitely have a particular drink that you want and you pay with, or you drink all the time. And it just makes me believe, and looking at myself, I think the same thing, because we're forced to live in a way that's not natural to ourselves. We're forced to be someone that is not ourselves, and also staying busy in that. You have to suppress your emotions somehow, and most of us turn to drink because it's almost the more legal way. Drugs aren't acceptable. pills are unacceptable, but alcohol kind of functions differently or whatever. So people just kind of lean toward that. And it's funny how when you're forced to live a life that is not your own, you have to find ways to cope. And I strongly believe that, like, after getting over the shock and seeing it and laughing or what have you, and seeing Tony Morris in the liquor store waddling around, I look at him and I look at other ex-Jehovah's Witnesses and actually Jehovah's Witnesses who are in the organization currently, and I'm like, wow, the alcohol culture trickles down. It trickles down from the top all the way down to whoever else is here. And we all do something to cope with not living a life of our own. And it's funny because I ran across Romans 6:16, which says when you let others control you, you become their slave. And when you let the Watchtower organization control you, you become its slave. When you let, the same is true with anybody else. And now, of course, they use this with Satan or apostates or what have you. But let's turn it around and look at them. They're actually controlling others' lives to the point of suicide in some cases. And you become their slave. And the only freedom that most of us have, or most of them have, is drinking the bottle. Because at least we can be free here for a little while. And looking at the John Cedars Watchtower in Focus, one of the gentlemen did say that the way that Tony Morris was buying the alcohol is like an alcoholic, because he went further out. And that's the other thing. I'm sorry. You know, when we were Jehovah's Witnesses, they would always say that Jehovah would always make a way for you to find out what's going on. He went past so many other liquor stores. He went 25 miles away. I'm sorry. If that was for Bethelites or Gilead School or what have you, you wouldn't be there 25 miles away. You wouldn't be going on Sunday when no one else is in the liquor store, when you should be at the Kingdom Hall your doggone self, more than likely. And 3, if it was for Gilead, then why didn't Watchtower buy it out of Watchtower funds and get it delivered to the organization? Amazon works. Everybody else works. He was buying that for his personal stash, I believe. Because that way he can hide it wherever he's going to hide it and just say, oh, that's a new bottle. I mean, that's the same bottle. Anyway, I digress. It was just funny to see this video, and seeing what's going on this week with Tony Morris was awesome. So, you know what? Pass the drink. Probably to me. Anyway, go grab your drink, guys. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Angela Emery with Radiate Naturally. Excuse me. Go ahead, pass the drink, guys. Pass the drink to yourself if you need to. But drink wisely. I'm Angela Emery with the Exodus Group, and I'll talk to you soon.